Hello all, Shadwell here, ready to talk about the next film in my collection, Do You Like Hitchcock from 2005. It's the third film in the Dario Argento 5-movie collection, is directed by Dario Argento, and stars Elio Germano and Elisabetta Rocchetti. This movie starts with a sequence that takes place in, as the titles say, in the 1900s, which is weird because it could have said any time in 1990 specifically because that's when this scene takes place, as can be told from the kid's bike, glasses, and coat. Furthermore, this prologue of sorts, where a young child watches two women joyously slaughter a chicken in an act that is heavily tinted as a precursor to witchcraft because of the act, the demeanor of the two women, and they're both being dressed in all black. This prologue is just filler for time, I guess, because it doesn't come up for any important reason in the rest of the film, which is about that child grown up, a fan of Alfred Hitchcock, and witnesses the murder of a woman in the building across the way. The title is important because there is a lot of Hitchcockian allusions in this film, including the basic plot, which sounds a lot like an offshoot of Alfred Hitchcock's Rear Window, but there's more than just that. The protagonist believes the murder is a result of a strangers on a train type of agreement. The murder is also linked to a subplot that reminds one of Dial M for Murder. And that's the end of the obvious ones, as the rest you gotta really dig for, which I can't decide if it's a strength or a negative for this film. There's an attempted murder in a shower like Psycho. The protagonist has an overbearing mother relationship, also like Psycho. There's a subplot that goes nowhere other than existing to remind one of Hitchcock's film Marnie. And the ending of the real killer is styled somewhat after the ending of Vertigo. I do not like Do You Like Hitchcock very much at all. I think it's largely just subplots that don't add up to anything, and the ending is kind of stupid. But it's done so we have that forced section of Rear Window before the Vertigo bit. The film as a whole makes me roll my eyes a bit, and holy shit is there a lot of nudity. I didn't count, but I can safely say the breast count is higher than the death count, which is only surprising because this was a TV movie for Italian television. I guess they're a lot more lenient on what they allow on television in Italy than they do in the States. Flash one titty during the Super Bowl halftime and the world ends. Flash 8 titties during an Argento movie in Italy and no one bats an eye. This is one of Argento's later films from after 2000, and I do not argue that Argento hasn't really had any strong films in the last 24 years, but I don't want him to stop because who knows, maybe he still has a great horror story in him. I'm giving Do You Like Hitchcock a D+. Tomorrow it's the next film in the collection, The Card Player. See y'all then.